You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming.
There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back.
Welcome everybody to SmackDown Live. I hope you all are having a great day so far and that you're ready for more Universe Mode here in WWE 2K19. Once again, we have another sold-out crowd. We have two big matches tonight. We are here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Let's get SmackDown Live underway now. Okay, everyone, welcome to SmackDown Live again. First matchup on the card this evening is a women's division matchup, and similar to what we did on Raw yesterday, this match will be to determine the new challenger for Asuka's SmackDown Live Women's Championship at the Royal Rumble. Out first is Alexa Bliss. She hasn't really been in the SmackDown Women's title picture since early to mid last year. So Bliss trying to get back into contention for the title. Should have that long feud with Lita over the title for a bit, and that's kind of the last time we really saw Bliss in the women's title picture here on the blue brand. And we're going to see who she's taking on tonight, and it looks like it will be another former SmackDown Live Women's Champion in Becky Lynch. Pretty similar to Alexa Bliss, Becky hasn't really been around the title picture all that much since last year. The closest both of them really were to an opportunity was when they were in the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. They both came close, but Tamina of Monday Night Raw won the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match here in Universe Mode, and somewhat squandered that opportunity the following night, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So both women fighting for a chance to challenge Asuka at for the Women's Championship at the Royal Rumble. And then, actually, just as a side note, not really having to do with this women's match at all, but during or after this match and before tonight's main event, I will be putting on the screen the King of the Ring brackets on how those matchups will play out next week, since next week is the King of the Ring tournament. Team SmackDown Live won Survivor Series, and they won their Raw vs. SmackDown main event matchup. That team consisted of AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, Sami Zayn, and The Miz. We'll reveal the brackets following this matchup, of course. Put it on the screen, like I said. If you guys want to see who faces who next week, it's going to be 3 parts. One matchup will be next Monday, other matchup will be next Tuesday, and the finals will be next Wednesday. Just to clear things up a bit as Becky tries to maintain her control over Alexa Bliss. Sends her out onto the apron. Becky Lynch did have an encounter with Asuka several, I think, months ago at this point, as she was fighting Asuka for a chance at the women's title prior to SummerSlam. The number one contenders match winner would go on to face Carmella. Asuka ended up beating Becky Lynch, of course, to continue her streak, and she's still undefeated, like we've been saying many times over the past few weeks. But Becky trying to get a measure of retribution in a way. If she could beat Bliss here tonight and go to the Royal Rumble and take on Asuka and maybe even win, then things will have come full circle for Becky Lynch. Drop toe hold takes Bliss down. Nice move there by Lynch. Crucifix roll up. 1, And no, Bliss kicks out. Wait a second. Naomi, another former women's champion here on SmackDown. Why Naomi is going after or distracting Becky Lynch is beyond me. But wait a second, a rear view from Naomi out of nowhere. Uncharacteristic of Naomi. Cover by Bliss. 1, 2, 3, and Alexa Bliss off of the distraction and attack of Naomi of all people. Helps Alexa Bliss punch her ticket to the Royal Rumble to challenge Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Becky Lynch getting screwed out of an opportunity, a distraction by Naomi, followed by the rear view. Things, again, weird things happen here on Universe Mode all the time. For those who are new, stuff like this isn't too rare, but it happens and it's always really shocking. But Bliss crawled into the cover and wins this matchup. Demands the ref raise her hand. Alexa Bliss going to the Royal Rumble to take on the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. But let's get ready for tonight's SmackDown main event. Alright guys, time for tonight's main event, and we'll be seeing the Freak Lars Sullivan in action. If you guys remember, right before Survivor Series, Lars was in a qualifying match against the phenomenal AJ Styles when out of the blue, the Animal Batista returned and cost Sullivan the matchup. Following that match, following Survivor Series, Sullivan went to The Undertaker and demanded a match against the Animal. General Manager The Undertaker granted and approved of the matchup, and Lars Sullivan also made sure that it was also going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match, so the Freak can brutalize and dismantle the Animal for what he did to him. This is going to be one heck of a matchup. Batista is one of the greatest superstars of all time, especially one of the SmackDown superstars of all time. But I don't think he's ever been in the ring with someone like Lars Sullivan, so we'll see if the Freak can, quote-unquote, brutalize and dismantle the Animal. It's going to be an interesting match for sure. These two monsters and giants, whatever you want to call them, I refer to them as, going to be very, very intriguing. Batista back on SmackDown Live. We haven't seen him since before, prior to Money in the Bank and all that stuff. So earlier this year, Batista, big boot, takes down Sullivan. You can see the size difference. But just because Batista is a little bit taller does not mean he's necessarily having the advantage over Sullivan. Sweeps the legs, takes the Freak down, goes for a kick. Lars moves out of the way, backdrop suplex incoming on Batista, takes him down. Look at the strength. Sullivan just picks Batista up by his head and slams him right down. Again, the freakish strength and toughness of Sullivan on display early is now Batista showing what he is well known for. Goes for another big boot, takes Sullivan down. And the Animal fired up. Kicked in the midsection by Sullivan. Picks him up and just slams him right down with a power bomb. Follows it up with a vicious headbutt. Batista is down. Sullivan trying to maintain his control. Picks up Batista, uses the rope as a slingshot, launches the Animal halfway across the ring. Stomp to the arm by Sullivan. Now another stomp. Batista in trouble. Lars into the cover. Count of two, not even a count of two actually, as Batista is able to kick out. stomp to the back of the neck. Now puts a huge hand on a pressure point by the neck. Has a locked in as a submission. Batista in trouble. Lars not letting go. Batista able to sweep the leg, take base out from under the Freak. Goes for some moves there, gets clotheslined out of the ring. Sullivan squashing any sort of momentum that Batista looks to build upon. Big left hand. Follows it up with a right. Kick to the midsection again. And remember, guys, this is Falls Count Anywhere. And a power bomb into the apron and swings Batista into the LED board. Anything pretty much goes in this matchup. Look at the strength display once again by Sullivan. Dumps him onto the barricade. Thought he was going to drop him over, but Sullivan now, like he originally said he was going to do, starting to dismantle Batista piece by piece. Drags him and throws him face first into the barricade again, nearly tossing him into the stands. Cover. 1, 2, and no, Batista kicks out. Picks him up again. Tosses him into the steel ring steps. Batista in trouble still. Lars bringing him towards the announce table. Actually to the apron instead, and slams him face first into that now too. And a big right hand takes the animal down once more. We're seeing firsthand what Lars Sullivan is capable of. Batista now trying to fight back. Kicks to the midsection, goes for right hand. Sullivan blocks him and hits one of his own. Reversal and clothesline by Batista. Big right hand takes the Freak down. Batista building ahead of steam. Right hands and kicks again. Clothesline by the Freak. Goes for another cover on Batista. 1, 2, and no. The animal is able to power out again. The crowd cheering for both men. Gotta give credit to Lars Sullivan for one, calling out Batista and demanding a match. And gotta give credit to Batista for just being Batista, really, honestly. Future Hall of Famer. And going now for a spine buster into the cover on Sullivan. 1, 2, and Sullivan is able to get the shoulder up in time. Batista now trying to fight back, goes for a kick to the midsection to set up for the Batista bomb. Look at this one-handed choke slam by Sullivan. Batista hit head first on the last and second to last steel ring step. Cover on Batista again. 2, 3, and Lars Sullivan might have potentially even injured Batista there, but ends it with a one-handed choke slam. Didn't have to even go to using a freak accident or a diving headbutt or anything, but took advantage of a false count anywhere matchup, and Sullivan defeats the animal Batista in a very aggressive match filled with brutality and just carelessness. Sullivan did hit that headbutt a little while ago. Batista with a spine buster was not enough to put the Freak away. But Lars Sullivan with another huge victory, this time over Batista. If you guys enjoyed this episode of SmackDown Live, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And remember, guys, this man is the next challenger for the Intercontinental Championship. We'll see you guys tomorrow on NXT.